Yo, still Mills was the Dizzle, man. Heading to work. Y'all know how the story go, bro. But peep game, man. We gotta get into this shit, man. And that is, man. I'm seeing a lot of people with strong opinions as it pertains to this past weekend's fight. Concerning the weight with the two of them, man. And I understand both sides. I definitely understand both sides, but man, my thing is this: if you was one of them ones who didn't care too much about the two-way stipulations that Tank put on Ryan, and I don't want to hear you say nothing about what Ryan not making weight for Devin Haney. You dig what I'm saying? Because I think those two dynamics in itself are different, man. Yeah, Ryan is him going into that Haney fight, he's a lot healthier. Was it a cheap move? Yeah, because he didn't put in the extra effort to get rid of the extra, coming in 3 pounds overweight. That extra 3 pounds, that shit matters. 3 pounds. It's not like these dudes are athletes at their physical peak. Maybe not from a boxing standpoint or anything like that, but just physical peak, just health and condition and muscle mass, and being not as much body fat, zero, but it's close to 0%, if not 0% body fat. You dig? So these dudes are at their physical peak. So I'm not, it's a lot more healthier for him to come into the ring a little bit heavier than what he was when he, going in there with, you can only, rehydrate up to a certain amount or whatever the case may be. And you're fighting at a catch weight as well. So you have more of a disadvantage. And then, you got same day weigh-ins. Those 3 pounds matter. You dig? And what you can rehydrate up to, that shit matters as well. It takes an individual who is to be able to fight under a rehydration clause. It takes a certain amount of skill and IQ to be able to weather that storm. Because at that point, it ain't about it's more about skill than it is about physicality, because you're depleted. You're at a disadvantage physically, so you have to have another tool to go about winning that fight. And he didn't have those tools going into the Tank fight. He didn't even have it going into the Devin fight. But the thing is, he was healthier going into the Devin fight. So I don't trip on it, man. Devin is a dude, and it's coming out. Not even coming out. When he fought Regis Prograis, he ballooned up to a middleweight. Man. I don't feel sorry for Devin. I honestly don't. I'm still mad at him for losing that fight. And I'm still mad at him for getting that gifted, not a gift, but I'm still mad at him for getting that decision over Lomachenko, because I feel like Lomachenko won that fight. But there's the only time yo, man, Devin is about to beat the shit out of this dude. I've been going on years saying, yo, man, Ryan, it's the reason why he didn't take that fight, because he knew he can't deal with Devin. Just for him to go in there and deal with Devin, like, god damn. Dig? So I can't, I don't know what they rehydrated to on the night of the fight when the bell rung. I don't know, but if it's any, just they asked him to put on a rehydration clause. Allegedly, that was in the hey, yo, man, let's put on a rehydration clause or whatever on what you. Bill didn't want to make it. He allegedly didn't want to make it. No, we ain't doing that. He gonna come in heavy as well. We going in heavy. All right, cool. You made your bed. You gotta lay in it. You made your bed. You gotta lay in it. Like I said, I don't know if he came in. Like, who's this? I don't know. But who's to say that he even came in heavier than Ryan on fight night on Saturday? If you'll depot Regis Prograis like that, and I think he came in pretty heavy when he fought Lomachenko as well. You made that bed, you gotta lay in, man. And a lot of people, it's a lot of fighters who are mad about it. About how big he came in. It's, professional fighters, professionals. They feel they feel slighted that he would come in that heavy. Miss weight, and I think they're more mad that he intentionally missed weight. He came in there chugging a beer on the scales or whatever the case may be. Like, bro, I can see that why that would ruffle somebody's feathers, because that's that for one. It's unprofessionalism. It's unprofessionalism, man, and just nobody said anything when Ricardo Mayorga would come, would do the antics that he did, but that dude was he was a fucking hellraiser, a legit hellraiser. Like it was, and he was gang affiliated, man. So he came in banging. Like I ain't giving a fuck about none of this shit, bro. I'm gonna blow this cancer stick in your face. We're gonna chug beer. Like, what you got out of him. With Ryan has this look, he has this, this boy band type look to him, and he's professing his love for the Almighty or whatever the case may be. So he's held to a certain standard, as opposed to someone like a Ricardo Mayorga. Even though I don't think that's even right, because I feel like they're putting too much stock into holding him accountable, of holding him to a certain spiritual standard that y'all don't hold other Christians to. You dig? A motherfucker. Like, I remember a dude telling me, man, yo, yeah, man, yeah, I had my first threesome when I went here and there, this and that and the third. But then, he'll oppose men getting married, talking about, man, I ain't with that gay shit. I'm a Christian. I'm like, bro, that's a contradiction. You know what I'm saying? That's a contradiction like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard people say that. It was one of my homies who said that. I'm like, nigga, that is the biggest contradiction. But being a Christian is convenient for most people, man. And I mean, personally, I don't look the church I grew up in was deviants. All in the church, man, miscreant motherfuckers, man, ingrates. You dig? They fucking on each other's husband and wives and all that shit. Just grimy motherfuckers, man. But that, just kind of the scourge of society, man. But those are the people that Christ surrounded himself with. So the imperfect Christian is honestly what it is that I'd gravitate towards. You dig? I want a pastor that's gonna cuss you the fuck out. I honestly do. Because there's no way you can not strive, but there's no way you can be as perfect as the entity that created you. There's no way you can do that shit. So you have to accept your flaws. And with Ryan Garcia, I get it. You dig? Like I'm not mad about that at all. That's the type of Christianity that I personally would gravitate towards. Know your Bible. You dig? I'm not telling you to be a Bible thumper. Know your Bible. Know the principles of the Bible, the mores of the Christian culture. Understand it. And it's levels to being a deviant within it, man. I ain't saying go out here and be fondling girls and doing all type of, wild shit like that. But if you're just a regular dude, you blow, you drink, whatever the case may be, all right, cool. I can accept that. I can honestly accept that. So I don't hold Ryan to that spiritual standard. And I don't hold nobody to that spiritual standard. Because if you are going to be a Christian, that's the type of Christian that I want to be around. Because you're less judgmental. That don't bother me. So I'm seeing a lot of people say that about him, man. You're a Christian and you professing your love for Christ and you doing this and you doing that. Most people do. Most people do. So I'm not going to indict him on him being an imperfect Christian, but it is a certain level of professionalism that he is supposed to uphold that he doesn't uphold. And him going on that scale and chugging that beer is exactly what I'm alluding to. That was wild. That was wild. But hey, it is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. Devin Haney winning, he's when you rehydrate to 160 pounds on fight night or whatever the case may be, and you fighting that featherweight, and you fighting that goddamn, not featherweight, but lightweight, and then super lightweight. Nah, man, like that's a problem right there. That's a problem, and I haven't really seen too many. I didn't start seeing people really highlight how big he would come into a fight and have something slick to say about it until he fought Regis. Until Tank was in the scope, like nah, nigga, let's get this money. And it was like, oh man, look, he fighting him. Now it's an issue, a bigger issue. So nah, man, I'm not about to sit here and play the violin for Devin Haney. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. When the shoe was on the other foot, now now it ain't. It's niggas and anxiety comes in full force. Nah, man, we not doing that, bro. We not doing that. We're not doing that because even with that, with Ryan coming in as big as he came in, you are supposed to be the superior boxer. You're supposed to be the superior tactician. You're supposed to be the superior technician. And you decided to stand there like a fool and plant your feet, and you got punished for it. Now you're mad. Maybe you aren't, but a lot of your fans are. And I'm just not gonna be that nigga to sit here and play you the violin, bro. When you were on the receiving end of the when you're on the not the receiving end, but you're the when you're the one giving the beat down. You dig? When you got when your arm gets held raised, it's not an issue. None of that shit gets none of that shit gets brung into it doesn't get brought into the light, bro. And I think that's really ridiculous. I think that's real ridiculous how you could sit there and not you in particular, but just your fans, bro. It's like it's shameless. Like, nah, man, I'm not giving Devin Haney. Nah, bro. Nah, nah. We can highlight Ryan's flaws. We could talk about that all day. Yeah, and from that paradigm, I understand, bro. But it's no different than when Danny Jacobs blew the way with Golovkin and Canelo. It's no different than that. He knew what he was up against, bro. Like these is not no little dudes, bro. Like I'm coming in heavy. And these are, I'm bro, these are dudes who can fight at super middleweight and light heavyweight. And if not for a belt, at least be contenders up there. I think Canelo can be a contender up there at light heavyweight. I don't think he could be a champion. And with Bivol and Better be up there, I don't think he could be a champion in that in that regard. But I think him and Golovkin could have fought at light heavyweight. I think they could have. I definitely think they could have. They were that skilled, or they're that skilled. Golovkin was that skilled. But it's no different than Danny Jacobs coming in heavy when it was time to weigh in with them too. I take no issue with it. I take no issue with it whatsoever. Now I just think even if Ryan came in at 140 pounds, he still would have been able to touch Haney. Because what people are failing to realize is Haney was clearly fully hydrated and was comfortable. He was comfortable. He was good, bro. He hydrated up to what he hydrated up to, and he was comfortable at that weight. He was comfortable at that weight. And he still got caught. He still got caught. And maybe Ryan doesn't, maybe them 3 pounds actually deplete him a little bit more, whatever the case may be, possibly. But still, bro, I still feel like, bro, you would have got clipped. You still would have got clipped. And even if he ain't, like, bro, don't you want the best version and the most healthy version of a fighter in front of you, so there's no excuses after you go in there and beat him, right? So I'm not about to play the violin for this nigga. Maybe he didn't. I'll even renege on that statement. Maybe Ryan doesn't do what he did to him if he came in at 140 pounds. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. But you being the better fighter, you should have been able to make those adjustments. You should have known, not, hey, yo, I can't enter the fray with this dude. You should have known that. And you didn't. Because you didn't, it cost you. I'm not playing the violin for Devin Haney, bro. I'm not. He'll bounce back, possibly even unify. Or not unify. His next fight allegedly is about to be with Sandor Martin. All right, bet. That's a good fight. But I'm not playing the violin for this dude, bro. It's not happening. It is what it is, bro. You lost. You shouldn't have lost. Nobody had you losing. We can talk about how unprofessional Ryan Garcia is. Yeah, we can definitely speak on that because it was that was serious unprofessionalism right there, bro. Like it was way out of pocket for that. Way out of pocket for that. The whole goddamn, just this mental health kick that this dude is going on. I'm not a believer in none of that, man. And I don't think he's mentally unstable. Yeah, I should have took that. I should have fucking took that. I know I'm getting cussed out right now. It is what it is, but I don't think he's mentally unstable. I just think he's, I don't know. He's just a weirdo. He's a weirdo. I got a homeboy like that. He swear he's just this loose cannon or whatever, this nutcase. You're just weird, dude. You're just a weirdo. You're not like that, bro. So I think with Ryan, it's the same with him, man. You're just being weird. You're a weirdo, and in some instances, being a weirdo is enough to be mentally unstable. But I just don't get that feeling from him right here. I just don't. I get a dude who just I'm looking at a sensitive ass dude who just wants a pity party and all that extra shit. And nah, I don't get a certain level of profession. Like I said, man, when he fought Tank, maybe he could have developed a little bit more of a, expanded his boxing brand a little bit more in that Tank fight. But this dude was only training like 3 days a week. Man, what are you doing, man? So it's just serious unprofessionalism with him. That's his biggest issue, the unprofessionalism, bro. You was talking about you got raped and all that shit. Like, come on, man. The Illuminati, this and that. You was just saying a lot of wild shit. Even now, it's a lot more rampant than what you was doing earlier in Victory. Now you real extra out with it. Oh, what y'all want me and Errol Spence? Oh, y'all want me versus Sebastian Fedora? You want some? Like, man. That's why I needed that. That's why I'm pissed that Devin Haney didn't get rid of this dude. You should have sent that man off to banish that man to the Shadow Realms so he can go over there and get money with Jake and Logan Paul and KSI and leave boxing on the highest level the fuck alone, man. Because you're a stain on the sport. Because you're a weirdo, a legitimate weirdo that we do not need to be exposed to, man. So I'm, dude doing music and all that, like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Goddamn. So I'm not happy, but it is what it is, man. So let's stop the pity party for Devin Haney. Let's cut that shit. Let's dead that shit right now. He lost, and it wasn't an issue when he was the one coming in overweight or coming in bigger than a lot of than hit the opponents that he was facing off with. So that's how the fuck I'm feeling about it, man. I'm going into work, man. I'll get with y'all later. Y'all stay righteous, yo. Deuces.